Episode 29, Before the Storm. September 1994. September comes to Tässi with rain, work, and a strange heaviness in the air. The first dry peat deliveries are finally completed. For Peter, the numbers begin to make sense. The peat business is not simple. Prices move constantly, and every delivery must be watched carefully. But if the timing is right, the money is there. At the Kingsepp farm, growth continues to reshape the yard itself. With more trucks and equipment arriving, the old farmyard is no longer large enough for the life now moving through it. The trusted construction company returns once again, this time to build a shelter for the newer trucks and a smaller fertilizer storage beside it. The farm is becoming more organized, more professional, less like a place fighting for survival, and more like a business preparing for the future. At the same time, Peeter and Waltteri finally make their decision about the flowers. What began as a quiet curiosity has become something much larger. A new year-round greenhouse will be built. A production building will follow beside it. Flowers, arrangements, dried products, and other processed goods could bring work and income even through the quiet winter months. For Waltteri, it is more than business. For Peter, that makes the decision easier. If the weather allows, construction will begin as soon as the season ends. Out on the peat fields, the piles begin to rise again. The wet September slows everything down, but does not stop it. Every dry hour matters. Every break in the weather must be used. Across the village, another familiar rhythm returns. People begin filling their firewood stores before winter. Deliveries leave the Kingsepp yard steadily, and Peter is satisfied with the price. The old work still has value, even if the farm is beginning to outgrow it. In the greenhouses, the season reaches its final stage. One by one, the last houses begin closing down. The growing season has been strong, and now a huge number of saleable pallets must be moved onward before the cold months arrive. Everything seems to point forward. New buildings, new production, new income, new confidence. But beneath it all, the music turns darker, because while Tässi sleeps through the night of September 27th, far out on the Baltic Sea, a ferry is fighting the storm, and before dawn, the name Estonia will mean something else forever. Wednesday, September 28th, 1994. Time 1:22.
Europa, Estonia. Silage, Europa, Estonia.
Estonia, this is Silage, Europe, replying on June 16th.
Silage, Europa.
Estonia, this is Silage, Europe, on June 16th.
Silage, Europa, Viking, Estonia.
Estonia, Estonia.
Mayday, Mayday. Silage, Europa, Estonia.
Estonia, Silage, Europa, are you calling Mayday? Estonia, what's going on? Can you reply?
This is Estonia. Kuka se on siellä? Silage, Europa, Estonia.
Yes, Estonia, this is Silage, Europe.
Hyvää huomenta, puhutko sä suomea?
Joo, puhun suomea.
Joo, meillä on nyt tässä ongelma. On paha kallistuma oikealle puolelle. Uskon, että oli 30 astetta. Voisitko sä tulla apuun ja pyytää myös Viking Linein apun?
Joo, Viking Line on tässä perässä ja meni varmaan tietoon. Ja voitko antaa sun position?
Siis meillä pätkitään, meillä on blackout ja emme saa nyt, mä en osaa sanoa sitä.
Okei, selvä. Ryhdytään toimiin.
In the early morning of September 28th, 1994, Estonia wakes to terrible news from the Baltic Sea. The passenger ferry MS Estonia, travelling from Tallinn to Stockholm, has sunk during the night in severe weather. There were 989 people on board. Only 137 survived. 852 lives were lost. For Estonia, the shock is almost impossible to measure. Radios speak in quiet voices. Phones ring in homes, harbours, offices and farms. Even in small villages far from the sea, people understand that something has happened to the whole country. Work may continue. Animals still need feeding. Fields still need attention. But the morning feels different. A silence settles over Estonia. And for many, September 28th becomes a date that will never be ordinary again.
Hello, wonderful farming people, and welcome back to Vintage Survival Estonia on Farming Simulator 25. And it has been a really long time since I have recorded because of my health situation. But yeah, as you saw on the intro, it has been in-game pretty horrific month, and actually yeah, in real life too. So but I don't know, my body is just messed up somehow, and it goes day by day. Some kind of, oh my god, why there's little bits and pieces over there. Yeah, it's like my condition is like changes in a couple of days. I tried to record like 2 days ago, and then I ate, took my meds, and started to feel again. Oh, what's that? One. So yeah, my condition changed suddenly, and I spent like 2 days in bed again and vomiting and things like that. But now I'm trying to get something to be recorded. Yeah, that was pretty horrifying thing, that Estonia sinking. I can remember it when it happened. I just had my driver's license on that spring, and I was in college, I believe. Yeah, it was pretty damn awful thing. And after the college, we have a prescription army in Finland, so I needed to go to the army, and I went to Navy. And I remember some of my fellow Navy men went to this kind of a oil cleaning vessel to be there, and they went to empty that Estonia ship from oil when I was in there. So they were pretty long assignment. They were like maybe 3 months on the sea straight away through, no vacations, nothing. So that was pretty intense. Those kind of things I can remember from that. But anyway, yeah, quite a bit has been happening here I have been trying to play a camera, and as you saw on the beginning, I don't like this unloading. By the way, this kind of it should throw this peat a little bit further away. You know, it tilts the harvester like that. Yeah, so the expansion on the yard, we needed. That it was necessary to get a little bit more set space here, and yeah, the new trucks needed a little bit shelter, and the yard is filling with equipment quite a pace. So there are 2 sheds, same set as we built before over there. It's now one there, and also that kind of storage for the lime and fertilizer pallets that we have. That was, yeah, those pallets were just lying around on the yard, and I have this is not on dedicated server, so I have a little pallet issue here going on, but that's okay. And we have a lot of pallets on our storages, so in winter time there's a whole lot of selling to do, but that's okay, that means money. But yeah, what else been happening? So I installed actually the changing prices, you know, seasonal prices and fuel mod, but I haven't seen that much of a difference on that. Maybe there's fertilizer downs, I think, quite a bit, but I don't think that mod uses the peat, you know. But let's just take a quick peek here. I kind of like it, but I should have taken it before, but I hesitated. So let's take a look. Solid fertilizer. Where are you? There. So as you can see, it was this month. Yeah, 200 euros or kroons different, but not that much. But yeah. So it is end of September, and we are actually now. It has been really difficult with this peat. Took a long time, game time. I mean, because of the rain, it has been really difficult to harvest this or extract it. As you can see on there, October, every day is rain. So I believe this is possibly the last that we're gonna get, and this needs to be get out of the ground today. Yeah, so that's why it's afternoon, and I have been playing because it's a fountain of endless peat this in game. So I have been playing like that I dried it, so I need 2 days to dry it and then turn it and then do 2 days also. So it took quite a long time, but I have been quite strict with that. But this is the 3rd time that since last recording that I've extracted it on that pile which is over there now. So this is the 3rd time. It's pretty okay money, but easy money, but kind of a easy money. I don't think it's a pretty labor intensive. You have to work for the money, but that's okay. I think that's reasonable. Yeah. You don't have to wait so much and spend the fertilizer and seed and things like that, but you have to be able to work quite a bit. And the changes, what else have been happening is that peat truck, which on the last episode was stuck all the time on the Cell Tams peat export sale point, so I changed that, and now the both trucks are working fine. Yeah, that was probably too old or something was wrong with that or something like that. And yeah, I can't remember for the life of me how much did I get from the peat that I sold, but it was maybe 10 loads maybe, and it was like 4,000 per truck. Yeah, so it was pretty good cash, and we're standing on over 200,000 now. And there's the one purchase that I made, the Valtra or Valmet as I took it. You had an option to choose 6600. Yeah, and this is the Verso, as you saw on the intro, Verso steering, so I can use the back 3.4 for the implements. But I think I think I will change this because the scale, it's kind of off, you know. This is too small, I think so. Because if you go in there, like, you know, my head is over. Yeah, that is a little bit too small on actual size. It bothers me. I think I will change it. We'll see how it goes. But I think the scale is a little bit, yeah, out there. And rest of the wood chips that we got from that new field, they were sold also. That was, and also I took out a couple of trees out over the farm, so get a little more space for the sheds. So that was like 98,000 that we got out of that. And that field, this new field, is actually ready to go. So there's grass growing there. Everything is fertilized at once and rolled. So we just need to spread some slurry over there at some point. I don't think we're not gonna cut it this year. Next year's thing. And on this episode, I think there's a little bit of we'll continue my list a little bit later because we have 2 jobs that needs to be done tomorrow, starting with the sunflower harvest. That is the one thing, and also cutting that rest of the grass, or what field was it, 13. So that needs to be cut and put on the one bunker silo that the new one that which is half full, getting full and covered. And that's the job list for this episode, but it's probably gonna be a little bit longer one, but I really do appreciate if you can stick around until the end. Yeah, that would be much appreciated. But yeah, I think, and obviously you can see, if you I have noticed that a lot of you don't spend time until the end, and you should, because there's always the same kind of an outro on each episode, which, you know, tells a little about what's to come on the next one. So that is actually the short video on the outro that I put, you know, coming out next week. So I really recommend, or just jump to the end if you're not interested to watch. But anyway, I'll continue this. This is just the labor thing, and get the speed out, and then we'll see next month. I think it's not gonna be first days, maybe, because it's promising so much rain. So we'll see when we are able to start harvest that grass and sunflowers. Yeah, I will see you a little bit later. Okay, ladies and playboys, good morning. It is the next day, actually, and rain is only coming in the evening, so that is pretty good. The Ilves brothers are already attacking their sunflower field, and we are heading on ours. So yeah, what my life is at the moment. On the last recording session I ate, then I vomited, then I felt awful, and it took like 2 days to recover from that again. So this is this recording session is 2 days after the last one in real life, so not good still. Yeah, we bought this corn header. I'm not sure about the corn. Should I do it and try it out? Does it grow here? But this was 17,000. Not too bad. A 6 row, a little bit wider than the which is the header that is recommended on this harvester. But that's pretty awesome. And actually, Ilves brothers, they bought this kind of a special sunflower header, so they get a probably, I don't know, a little bit better yield. Harvester works a little faster on that. But yeah, by the way, the where we were in my list, oh, there they are waiting. Yeah, that kind of a header. Pretty strange looking. Yeah, so the sheds, they actually cost us 80,000. So that was pretty good because the wood chips covered that nicely. So no stress on that part. And new forklift on the actually our dairy. I bought there a new forklift, new used. It was 29,000, pretty expensive, but it makes moving those pallets a little bit more easier. I can take like 4 pallets at one go, so that is pretty good thing. Makes things a little bit more faster with this pallet circus. And yeah, actually, we went through our plan for the flower business. So actually we are going to build here by the road. It's kind of a flower production greenhouses, and also this processing facility for the flower. You can make some kind of a scents, or I don't know what it's called, but anyway, you can process the flowers forward. Then this guy needs to be put back to the storage, I think. We have a little plan for the spring also for this one, if we could expand it a little bit more or develop. Yeah, so we'll see about that. And yeah, but that decision is made, and as soon as this harvest is done and season is over, we're gonna, if the weather allows, we're gonna go to it and start building probably. And we have a million kroons coming, over a million from the terms of the wood still, so money is no obstacle on that part. And actually I sold milk. Yeah, I sold full truckload of milk to the town dairy, so that was like 32,000 liters. It's not so, yeah, but it's raw milk, but it's not so, the price is not so good, I in my opinion. It's like 700 or something, but yeah. but it's money anyway coming in. What else do I have here? Yeah, and the little by the sheep barn, the little milk dairy thingy, which I had that pallet count issue. That has been run out and it's demolished, and all the metal seats and that shed is in storage also put away. So there's one little garage or materials for us to use. And in the springtime also these fields need a little spraying. I think this one on the right side, it's not fully done. I don't, it seems that it has weeds also, but yeah, spraying will be done in the springtime, I think. And yeah, the firewood, people are starting to it's pretty late, but they are starting to fill up their storages on the firewood. And also, oh, there's a lot of clothes. Also the price is pretty good. I made a little decision that I won't sell it until the price is like 400 per 1,000 liters, so that is the limit. Let's see here. Oh man, this is loud, really loud. Ah, that's okay. Let's move a little bit further here. So okay, this header seems to be mulching the field straight away, you know, giving that residue. Let's see, check it out quickly here. No. Yeah, because obviously we need to match it, because there is no residue on our sunflowers, I believe. Yeah, and 22,000 word I sold the actually the firewood. So yeah, money-wise, everything seems to be pretty stable. But I'm just waiting to starting to rotate that our cattle and those Highland cows and the dairy cows, but they are productive, and new ones are, you know, coming to this world all the time, so that is pretty good. And all the greenhouses, there are only a couple of the apple trees, the old ones, that are still going. Everything else is pretty much done for the season. They are shut down, but yeah, I'm just trying to get the apple production, apple trees, a little bit down on the materials that they have, so I could demolish them to let them run out a little bit, and then we are done with those. I will change those to the orchards, greenhouses and orchards, apple trees. The production rate is a little more realistic, I think. Yeah, but anyway, this is, I was thinking making a cinematic or montage out of this, but I don't know, it's just, you know, same stuff, just harvesting. Everybody has seen that, so I think I will call Arvo Tonu to come and help me, and we're gonna get this field done, and we agreed that we will deliver this to Ilves family, so they can get we can get the best price, and they can get a lot of product to process. So we just need to first try to harvest this, so we can see from their silo that how much did we deliver? But anyway, I will continue this and hopefully I will see you sooner than 2 days in real life. Good morning, guys. Yeah, sunflower harvest is done yesterday, and actually rain didn't come after yesterday evening, and now it's a perfect weather to get this silage harvest going. Maria is already there waiting for us, and let's get this on the road. I think we need to go on the other side. It's a little bit wonky lots this. That's okay. Quite loaded. And it was 8 kilometers per hour, I'm not sure. No, 10. Hang on, let's adjust that. Like so, and now we can go. Yeah, it was pretty good yield, have to say. And Ilves brothers told also that they had quite a nice yield on their field. So we got 63,180 liters from that Maggie's field. So, and delivered to the silo, Ilves brothers silo, and we are gonna get 25,300 each, Maggie and us. So that was pretty awesome and welcome money. So yeah, what else was I supposed to say? Yeah, in real life it's actually pretty funny. In real life it's also 2nd of October now. So that's I just noticed when I started to record, and it took now for me only 1 day between of these sessions. So I don't know, it just pretty hard to produce these things, but yeah, slowly but steady we're gonna try to do this. How this is supposed to work, I don't know. Are you gonna go? Yeah, you're gonna go with the headlights first, and I'm stuck in the shed now. Could I? Oh, but yeah, I don't know why the wall is like that on this trail. I don't know, a little bit on the wrong side, I think. But never mind, we're gonna just drive on the uncut grass then. That's okay. This would be a great job for multiplayer, so let me know in the comments if you're interested. Yeah, I don't know what else. Oh, now you're gonna a little bit further. Yeah, so let's go like that. Yeah, I think the oh my god, I think the silage bunker is going to be quite full after this, but I'm not gonna let you watch this all the time, but I think we're gonna go and dump this quite not full load, and so you can see a little bit of the new yard. Come on. Go now. Come on. Yeah, at the beginning on this filling this trailer, it's a little bit the trigger is a little bit on the back side. It's really hard to get it on the correct position, but yeah. Now you want to go there, but you can go there. I will show you guys our new yard. So there's the new shed shown there. Oh my god, I'm going 10 now with the cruise on. Yeah, I got the 8600 Valtra. Oh no, 8800 Valtra there to pack the bunker silo. So this is how this looks now. It's yeah, little bit changes. All of our trucks are there. Fertilizer thingies and lime bags are over there, and we spread quite a bit of gravel here, so that is pretty awesome. And the yard is coming in shape, but I don't know, do I want to I would really like to have some kind of a fence here, but the workers doesn't like it. But I don't know, maybe if I put it just here or pretty close there, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Have to test it out. Yeah, so that is all full pretty much, and let's put. So this is how this process goes. Nothing exceptional. And this is now like 80% packed. So I'm just feeling it like this. Slowly getting this kind of a hill filled up, so I can easily, you know, go with that Valtra on top of here. And I think this is the Highland expansion bunker, but I think this guy kind of prevents that silage coming out of there somehow. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, and when I get full loads, I will usually pack it up, or pack it down, you know, as we go forward. So then it's not so big job to start from 0%, so it doesn't take forever to pack. I don't know, does this packer do any difference in this tractor, but I don't know. It seems pretty worthless. Yeah, but this is how this goes. And yeah, I don't know what is coming from on the next episode, where we are. Yeah, but I was thinking that I will probably do some herbicide spraying now that the fields have just small weeds, so that would probably be the best, you know, towards the winter, to kill them immediately. So yeah, I think I will do that off camera. We will see it probably on some kind of a intro or outro.
Even after the shock, autumn work must continue. The final forage work of the season moves ahead, and the silage bunker is filled to capacity. Peter makes another practical decision before winter. The weeds appearing in the fields will not be left waiting for spring. If they are there now, they will be dealt with now. For that work, the old MB track will be replaced. A brand new Fendt tractor is coming to the farm, dedicated almost entirely to spraying. It looks unusual. Different from anything the farm has used before. But for its purpose, it may be exactly right. Across the valley, the Ilves brothers begin spraying contract work for Fazer as well. The extra income matters, because their debt from the sunflower seed investment is still open to both Peter and Maggie. And while the fields are prepared for winter, the first foundation work begins for the future flower production buildings. What Waltteri carried quietly in his mind is finally becoming real. Episode 30 begins. And if you want to support the channel and become part of the next Cobbler Farm story, channel memberships are now open. You can get early access to new videos, behind-the-scenes updates, and join the Cobbler Farm's multiplayer world as a farm hand or farm owner. Thank you for watching, and hopefully, I and the man who has Greek god-like figured body will see you in the next episode.